freezing again today. I think it's 1 or 2 degrees, but that wind takes the skin off your face. So I'm up on Burbage Edge, and there's some gorgeous colours again. I was going to go camping tonight, but we've got family coming around to help with the building work. And to be honest, after my last camp, I'm due a good night's sleep. The response to that video has been awesome, by the way, so big thank you to everyone for all the nice, kind words and comments. If you've not seen it yet, it's well worth a watch if you're one of those sickos that like watching people suffer. So I've had a few comments lately from eagle-eyed viewers that have noticed I've been wearing a mesh base layer lately. Before you start, it's nothing kinky, and I'm not auditioning for a Right Said Fred tribute band. So I've been hiking and camping reasonably seriously for the last 10 years or so, and I can't believe that up until 4 or 5 months ago I'd never even heard of a mesh base layer. So I was always fed the narrative that you need a fast wicking, moisture repellent material, something like merino wool or polyester, or a blend of those two, and maybe a little bit of spandex or something like that. A mesh or fishnet base layer, a Rabsy Nesbit string vest, whatever you want to call it, that was never in the picture when it came to hiking or backpacking. A video popped up on my YouTube feed about 4 or 5 months ago, and I watched it, and it mentioned all these great things about mesh base layers and how they compare to merino wool and polyester. So as you do, I did a little bit more research, watched a load more videos. The reviews and the reports were all really positive, so I thought I'll take the gamble, and I ordered a mesh base layer. So it turns out that mesh base layers have been around donkey's years. A string vest was the base layer that Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing used back in 1953 to climb Mount Everest. They obviously had to have a lot more insulation as well, but the garment that was actually touching the skin was a string shirt or vest, and they were made by a Scandinavian company. I think it's from Norway. Bringi or Brynji or Bringi, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's raining again. Doesn't matter when I come out lately, Mother Nature wants to beat me up. Come on, keep on punching. So I've been wearing a mesh base layer on all of my trips for the last 2 months or so. So I thought today I'd talk about my experiences of using these base layers, and how they compare to the more conventional style stuff such as merino wool or polyester. So after a couple of times of using the mesh, I emailed Bringi and asked for a little bit more information. I wanted to know a bit more of the science about how it works, and they kindly sent me the information. They also sent me 3 more items as well, so 2 more base layers, a short sleeve one and a long sleeve one, and also this hat that I've got on as well. Came in very handy actually, because me having the physique of a cage fighter meant that I ordered the extra large, and actually that ran a little bit tight for me. I could get it on, but it made me look like an extra on the Rocky Horror Show. So when it comes to fit, for me anyway, sizing up one was perfect. Right, while I negotiate these puddles, quickly want to thank Squarespace again for sponsoring the video today. So if you don't know who Squarespace are, they create a platform for everyday people like you and me to build a website easily all by yourself. You don't need any experience in web design or coding. All you have to do is choose one of their ready-made templates, and then you can upload your own photos, add your own text, and just move things around a little bit until you get the page looking just as you want it. So we've been using Squarespace for around 4 years, and in that time we've built 3 websites, and we use those websites for selling merchandise, for creating email campaigns. And I also use the Messner website to promote my YouTube channel. And the built-in SEO means that I now rank on Google. There's loads of different features. You can check your analytics, you can run subscription services, upload video tutorials, or if you're creative like Joe and want somewhere to sell your paintings, you can build a website for that too. So if you want to have a go at building a website by yourself, then click the link in the description below, or head over to squarespace.com/Paul Messner. You'll get a totally free trial, so you've got nothing to lose. So the thing that intrigued me most about the mesh base layers is the promise of, how well they wicked away the moisture and how dry you felt whilst wearing one. And me, let's say I'm a sweaty bugger. I tend to overheat and get really hot and sweaty quite quickly. So as a bit of an experiment, I'm slightly overdressed for the occasion today. I'm wearing a Paramo jacket, which most people know are really warm coats anyway. I'm also wearing a Polar Tech Alpha Pro fleece hoodie, shall I say, and then underneath that I'm wearing my mesh base layer. As you can see, it's pretty overkill, but I feel bone dry on the skin. Just going to navigate down here and then I'll show you one of these base layers. Some things should never make it on a television, so this is the only time that you're ever going to see me in this base layer. I told you I was too sexy for this shirt. So I've been hiking for around an hour, big coat on, Polar Tech hoodie as well, and both of these garments feel bone dry. I've had a backpack on and my back is dry as well. All of the moisture's gone into my jacket. So if I was wearing one of my conventional merino or polyester base layers, then I'd be starting to get really cold now, because no matter what they say about them moisture wicking, I've been hiking an hour, they would be dripping wet through. They always are. They retain all of that moisture because, so the way that sweating works is the moisture comes out of your pores and then it vaporizes straight away and it evaporates into the atmosphere. But if you've got, a close weave sort of material on there, then that stops that vaporization properly, and then it turns back to moisture again, so your clothes get wet basically. So this is what the mesh base layer looks like over your skin. As you can see, let me get a bit closer there. It's like, it's literally a string vest, but there's loads of these little air pockets that allows the vapor to escape. You can see why this material is incredibly breathable, and it is made of polyester, this one, so it is moisture wicking as well. So I bought one of the shirts in here, as well as a couple of other things as well to show you. So this is the black one that I bought, and it does come with reinforcements there on the shoulders, so if you're wearing a backpack or something like that, then it's not going to be uncomfortable on your shoulder. You can see just how breathable it is. But if you were to put another close weave top on top of this, then it would create a little air pocket, so then that would trap warm air and it would also keep you really warm. So when you stop, so if I'd be sat here now and I had this shirt on from the start, there'd be a massive sweat patch on the back, underarms would be wet through, I'd be dripping, but I'd also be freezing cold because I'd be stood still. That cold water is touching my skin, where with a garment like this it's not. I must have spent hundreds of pounds on all of these technical materials. So here's a Rab one, fast wicking, moisture repellent top. Yeah, once I'm hiking in it, this gets wet through. Don't get me wrong, it does dry out reasonably quickly, but if it's cold and I've got this hanging inside my tent, it might still be wet in the morning. And if I'm wearing, so when I've been wearing these, I've not been taking them off. So I'd get to camp, I'd put something, a dry layer on top of it, and then I'd just stay in it, I'd sleep in it, I'd do everything in it. It is, I can't believe something that is probably 100 years old in the design, it's performing better than all these modern technical materials. I've also got the hat. So the hat has got mesh in there as well, but it's also got a layer of whatever that is. I'm not sure what the material is, to be honest with you. Might say on here, but these little holes, they allow all of the vapor and moisture to get away from my head, which ultimately keeps my head warmer. So I bought this Patagonia, I think it's an R1 hoodie. This was I don't know, 5 months ago, something like that. Got a bit of string on it, put that in my bag. But this again, it looks a little bit the same sort of technology. Although it's not a string vest, you know, it's all about the weave. So you've got pockets of air and gaps for breathability, and then you've got a little bit of insulation there as well. So before I got my mesh base layer, I was starting to wear this, you know, on its own without any sort of t-shirt or thin base layer underneath it, and I was finding that I was much drier and, you know, ultimately warmer as well. So it's 2 degrees at the moment. I'm wearing a string vest and, you know, this Polartec hoodie. Again, look how breathable it is. So because the vapor or sweat or moisture can pass straight through both of these materials, I'm actually dry. Any sort of dampness is in my jacket, which is actually designed to push moisture to the surface. Yeah, so far, yeah, look, let me show you. This is the same look. I'm starting to think that the actual weaves are more important than the material itself. Although for me, cotton is still a no-no for most hiking situations. That's the t-shirt version. So it's got, yeah, it's the padding on the shoulders there, look. So one thing to notice as well, so sometimes if you, you know, you might get little, you know, if your straps are down there, for example, you might get little things on your skin that look like you've got impressions on you. It's no different to the cuffs on your socks, or, you know, when you've took your watch strap off or something like that. Yeah, it's really comfortable to wear. It's really comfortable feeling dry. I hate feeling wet and sweaty all of the time. This is actually a game changer for me. I've been wearing it sometimes as well, you know, not when I'm hiking, you know, just under a jumper or a t-shirt, just for that extra comfort. I'm just trying to have a look at the pricing now, and, you know, the Swedish army, they used to have string vests. That was their army issue. So $14.99 on eBay for the Bringy ones. There's brands called Acclimer. There's a Castelli one for £25. The one that I'm wearing now is a super thermo shirt with an inlay, and that's £59. So a string vest was perfectly fine to get up Mount Everest in 1953. Why have I never heard of them up until 4 or 5 months ago? Is it because, you know, all the marketing and hype of these super duper materials that, you know, the big brands want to sell you? So I don't have any affiliation with Bringy. They don't know I'm making this video. We've exchanged a couple of emails when I asked for some information about how the technology works, and but based on that, they sent me a couple of extra tops, which I'm grateful for. I'm a little bit flabbergasted that up until 4 or 5 months ago, I didn't know anything about this type of insulation or base layer. Not much of an outdoorsman, am I? But when I think about how the design of it works, it all makes sense, really. I will drop links in the description below to a couple of the videos that got me intrigued. I'd be interested to know if you've heard of mesh base layers as well, or if you've tried them, if you think it's a load of baloney. It's working for me so far anyway. So anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll leave you with the glorious Peak District. I'll see you next time.